Welcome to the Mom Owned and Operated podcast, the podcast about moms and for moms, where we have candid conversations about running a business, raising a family, and remembering ourselves. I'm your host, Rita Suzanne, a single mom of four, digital strategist, and provider of no-nonsense business strategies and tactics. Hi, this is Rita Suzanne. This is Mom Owned and Operated. And today I have my guest, Bianca Smith, with me. Bianca, thank you so much for joining us. Please tell everyone all about you, your family, and your business.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, Rita. So my name is Bianca, as Rita said, and I'm a military spouse currently stationed in Madrid, Spain. And I have two teenagers and a young adult. Keep forgetting she hit 18. And they are 15, 16, and 18.
Wow.
And I run a marketing agency called Simplified VA Services. And I'm also a virtual assistant coach at the Virtual Assistant Journey.
Yes, you are amazing. And for everyone, Bianca manages the content for Mom Owned and Operated, and she is amazing. So before you started this, what were you doing?
Oh, what was I not doing? So before I started my business, I had an Etsy shop. So I had an Etsy shop, and then we moved overseas and I had to shut down my Etsy shop. So then I have an MBA in accounting. So I started doing bookkeeping for Etsy shops. And then that's when I found out about the VA industry. So then I did internships with a military financial company, a military spouse who ran a virtual assistant company. I was working for her. And so that's how I found out about the virtual assistant industry, became a VA myself. And then after doing general admin and social media and being a solopreneur, I then decided I wanted to run an agency because at some point we do get booked out and we have to find different ways to scale. And so I started my social media agency. It was a social media / VA agency. And then this year we just niched down even more to just marketing. And then people started asking me questions about the VA industry, and I love the VA industry. So then I decided just to become a VA coach so I can help other VAs out there learn how to start, grow, and also market their VA business.
I love all of that. So so I feel like one of the biggest mistakes I made in my business was not hiring help soon enough. So I'm wondering from you, what do you find to be the best reason that someone should outsource in their business?
Yes. So I always say to outsource probably before you're ready. And when you start asking that question, what can a VA do for you? I'm getting a little bit burned out. That is when you should start looking into outsourcing. What I see is people wait too long to outsource. So they wait until they're just exhausted and they're burnt out. And then they don't take the proper steps to actually, do interviews, look into people. They just need somebody quick to come into their business. And so if you're finding yourself doing a ton of repetitive tasks, you're doing the same task over and over and over, especially if it's general admin, you can hire a general admin VA to take care of those tasks. Just record yourself doing that task so you have your SOPs for that VA to come on. If you're working all the time on your business, on the weekends, on the weekdays, then you're working, I always say 40 plus hours on your business, that you want to take some time off. When you just don't have enough time to work on things that you want to work on, your projects, things that are actually bringing in money because you're doing all the admin things. You have, all these emails coming in. There's all these little admin tasks that you're doing when you can be focusing on other things that are actually bringing in money in your business. When your business isn't growing, you feel stuck because you only have so much hours in a day. And so when you feel like you can't grow in your business, and the top one, when you're just getting burnt out, when you're just tired and you're exhausted and you just want to burn the business down, that may be a good time to actually start outsourcing.
I feel like, so I was one of those people who waited way too long. I talk about a lot of times about how I was burnt out so badly from doing web design. I would work every day, nonstop, even on the weekends. I just remember when I first started, I would roll out of bed looking like I hadn't showered in days, probably because I hadn't showered in days. I was on a mission to prove to everyone that I could actually have my own business, and that I didn't move my family across the country for nothing, right? Because we moved from California to Ohio just so that I could start my business. And so I was really determined to do that, but I was also on a shoestring budget. And so I really didn't even consider hiring any help because I was barely getting paid myself. But I find that to be like one of the biggest problems for people. Like one of the maybe like why they're not hiring is because they don't feel like they can afford it. What are your thoughts on that?
And that's another big thing I see is, oh, I can afford to hire a VA. And the thing is, you probably can. We tend to think that you have to pay $600, $700 for a VA, and the VA virtual assistant is the industry, right? So under this industry, we have different niches. So the more niche down you get, the more you are going to have to pay. So if you're looking for a social media manager, if you're looking for a Pinterest strategist, if you're looking for a tech VA or a tech strategist, those are going to cost a little bit more. But if you're just looking for, let's say, a general admin VA to help you with your calendar, clean out your emails, if you're a coach, maybe you record videos, you just need them to download off of Zoom, put it onto YouTube, then put it into whatever program that you use, whether it's Kajabi or Kartra or Member Vault. That's a general admin VA. And a general admin VA can cost you, let's say, minimum $15 an hour. So anywhere between $15 to $25 an hour. And if you hire a general admin VA for 10 hours at 15, you can expect to pay, let's just say $150 to maybe $250 for a general admin VA. And then there are executive VAs who are maybe more skilled with, let's say, active campaign and things like that. So they may start, with 30, 35, 40. So just do your research because VAs charge different, right? I always say usually between $15 and $40 an hour for a VA.
Yeah, and I think that I think the answer is really that you have to like make space for that because actually by outsourcing a lot of your admin tasks or even in any of your tasks, you're going to allow one more time for yourself so that you could probably bring in more money to the business. Because what I realized after so many years was I was burning myself out, like you said, on tasks that I didn't really even need to do. And if I would have outsourced that, then I could probably have up leveled my business a lot faster because I wouldn't have been so tired from doing all of these things, for my clients and all of this other work that I thought I have to do this. Like I have to, like I'm the only one. Right. And I think that when you outsource, you are opening up your business to actually make more money. And I think that it's actually super helpful.
And that's
And
a myth where we feel like we are the only ones that can do it. But that's why you create SOPs and operating procedures and you outline what it is, the things that you do in your business day by day. Record yourself doing that because there are other people who can, come in your business and help you in your business. And if you're hiring with someone like a social media manager, they can probably do it better than you because that is what they do. And it gives you more time to focus on your coaching. So if you break down the numbers and you hire a VA for, let's say, 10 hours a month at $200 a month, and you're a coach, you're probably charging your coaching, students a whole lot more. So you can take on more coaching students, you can actually make more money.
yeah, and I think that's true. And then we just don't realize it. I think, especially as service providers, it's a lot different than like coaching, right? Because as a service provider, when I get on a call and I talk to my clients and maybe I'm coaching them through some things, but then I have 8 hours still of work, actual physical work that I need to do for the client. And so it's a lot more mentally draining versus just coaching. And I'm not, minimizing it, but there's so much more labor intensive work that goes into being a service provider. And it would actually help you, because I would get burnt out creatively. Like I couldn't think, like, how am I going to design this thing when I'm so burnt out? I can't, and I think also like having good boundaries will help you to avoid that burnout too.
Exactly. I always tell people that there's always these tasks. You just talked about coaching and service providers, and there's so much to do in business. And I think when we start to become a business owner, we don't realize all that there is to do, but we're also capped on the amount of hours that we can work. So bringing in somebody that has a specialized skill set is actually going to help you grow your business. It's going to help you save money. It's going to help you make money. And if you're like me, family comes first. You have more time with your family. And I live overseas, so I love that while my clients are asleep, their business is getting done. And then when they wake up, they can email me with any questions that they have. So some look at that as a pro or a con. I look at that as a pro. Because that way, running an agency, my clients, we have people from all over the world. So it's almost like the business is running 24 hours.
Yeah. And what I like the most is, and this is really important for me, is that having a VA or multiple VAs, like they keep me on my toes, right? Because I know you'll send me emails and say, oh, I need this. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get this together, right? Like it makes me actually, pushes me forward. And I think that that's another thing that's beneficial to having a VA is that, how we were talking about before, we're overwhelming ourselves with trying to do all the things. And when a VA comes in and they start to take that load off of your plate, then they also can help push you forward because they're reminding you, oh, you need to give me this and in order to do XYZ.
Or VA is going to hold you accountable.
Yeah,
because
they can't do their job.
I was about to say that we can't do our job if we can't get certain things we need from you. So for us, when we do marketing, we focus primarily on social media marketing. You have until a certain day to look over your content. If you don't get that to us, it holds everything else up, and then your content's getting out late. But we do really good with setting reminders. And because we work with a lot of moms, we don't mind sending you those reminders, even though we tell you, hey, put this date on your calendar by the 25th of every month, which is today. Make sure you look over your content. And they just go into Airtable, they click one thing. But sometimes they don't do that. So we do a 2-day reminder and then we check in after. Like right now, I had a client that said, oh, I'm sick. I'm like, you know what? Take care of yourself this weekend. Just have the weekend to look it over, get it to us by Monday. And we try to, work with our clients and understand that they're busy. They're moms, just like I'm a mom. And so it gives us a little bit of leeway with the clients.
Yeah. And I think that's the most helpful part for me is like really I'm like, oh, shoot, I have to be on my toes, right? Because I am the type of person who needs that little bit of push because I'm being pulled in so many different directions. So how can people find like a VA that would fit within their budget? It's like I see people like all the time in Facebook groups, I need a VA, and then like 1,000 people replying, right?
Yes. So if you're looking for a VA, I always say first thing is to do a job op form and to really know what you need in a VA. Because sometimes, like I said, we're so burnt out. We just want somebody to come in and be that magic unicorn VA. And there's no such thing as a unicorn VA, but we want them to come in and be the savior and to do all the things. So I always say, first, do a job out form. Really sit down and think about what do you need help with. Do you need help with general admin? Do you need help with marketing? Do you need help with, miscellaneous tasks? Do you need help with, just whatever you need help with? So I actually have an outsourcing guide called Grow Your Business Through Outsourcing. And we have you write down everything you do in your business as far as administrative. And then you circle yes or no to what you can delegate. And then we have you write down everything you can do in marketing. And that can be, social media, newsletters, content, blogs. And then we have you circle yes or no to what you can delegate to someone else. And then we have you write down your miscellaneous things, whether that is, let's say, tech, podcasting, bookkeeping, copywriting. And then you circle yes or no, because there are things in our business that only we can do. but there's a lot of stuff that we can actually outsource. And then I always say, look at it. And if there's a lot of yeses on general admin, just start there because it may be easier for you to bring in somebody and just start off slow. Or if you know for sure, you're like, I hate social media. I hate it. I don't like it. If that's the one thing that you feel like is holding you back in your business, then start with social media. So start with what you don't like doing, and then write down every single task you do and start writing a list and get a list together what you can delegate. So do a job out form. You can put it into VA groups. So there's a lot of VA groups out there that you could put it into. Like I have a VA group called the Virtual Assistant Journey. So you're allowed to post job ops in there. Put it on your own social media channel. You can put it on your Facebook page, on your Instagram. You can also ask people that's in your circle, do they have a VA that they could recommend? Because they've been working with that VA. So that might be a great referral for you. So there's so many ways to find VAs, LinkedIn, I mean, just different platforms, but just be real strategic on who you're going to bring onto your team.
Right. And I think that another important thing is to have those SOPs in place. And a lot of people don't do that, right? Do they have like the VAs come in and maybe do that for them? Or like, how do you handle that when they don't really have a process in place already?
Yeah, so I think people get confused with a virtual assistant, which is the person that implements, and they get confused with the OBM. A lot of people don't know what an OBM is, which is an online business manager, and they're going to come in and do the strategy part of your business. So they may come in, and so if your business is just a mess and chaotic, you might want to hire an OBM first. They're a little bit more expensive, but they will come in and help you streamline your business. They will actually help you set up SOPs. That is not a VA's job. They can come in and get you organized, and then you can bring in a VA to help you with those tasks. I think people tend to intertwine the two, which you really, like I said, you want to focus on people that's their zone of genius. So if you don't have SOPs, that's exactly what OBMs do. They come in, they set up all your SOPs, they get you streamlined, and let's say something like ClickUp, and they can even help you manage your team. They can even help you hire because they understand the industry well. And then they will go in there, marry a little whale. You can keep them, and then your VA will come in and they will start doing the implementation part.
I love that. Okay, so oh my gosh, so many things to talk about. So because your schedule is so kind of like wacky, I guess you would say, it's different, right? But you've made it your own because of the time changes and all that other stuff. What are you able to like do for yourself? Like, things for Bianca, remembering more about you as a mom or as a person versus as a mom or a business owner.
Oh, yeah. So I teach my coaching students a lot about time management. So time blocking and task batching, because I think it's so important. So you really can see where your time is going. So you can see how many hours a week you have to work, where you are as far as a mother or as, even a spouse. And, everybody wants a piece of us as moms, right? And as business owners. And so every Sunday I sit down and I look at my schedule I have going for the week. And I always look at stuff for me first. Okay. I'm finally at a stage where I can sit down and say, what does Bianca have going on? Okay. I think sometimes we pretend to put everybody else ahead of us. And it's like, what self-care? Like, so today I have Spanish class and I'm about to go get my nails done because it's Friday and, things like that. And I look at, any appointments that we have going on. What do we have as a family? And then I sit down and then I plan my work schedule. But for some people, they may plan their work schedule first. My work schedule kind of comes last. And then based off of, what I have as far as availability for work, then I will go ahead and plug in what I need to get done. But I get everything done because I do theme days. Like today is my CEO day and my self-care day. Thursdays is my client work day. Monday is content creation for the agency. Tuesday is content creation for the coaching business. And then Wednesdays is a training day. So having those theme days, time blocking, task batching really helps me only work about 25 to 30 hours a week, if that.
Yeah. And I think that that's super important too. Like, I love that you're saying that you, do your stuff and your family stuff before you even schedule your work stuff, because it is most of the time, we're putting our work and our family first, and then we're putting ourselves last. And so I love, though, that you're making yourself and your family a priority over your business, because your business can, you know, people are going to survive, right, without their social media scheduled, or or whatever. That's why you schedule, is so that it's already pre-batched, and that's why you're outsourcing as well. You have help that helps you.
Especially with social media. Social media is one of those things where people really struggle with. They struggle with the strategy, what to write, just the creative part. And that's where we can come in and help you with that. So we can come there and create the strategy for you. We do the copy, the hashtag, the graphic. You can be completely hands off. The good thing about it is you can be completely hands off, completely hands on. We don't really care because it is your business. But yesterday I was coaching my students on the difference between a glass ball and a rubber ball. It's like, what are those glass balls in your business or in your life that if it breaks, it shatters? And for me, that's my self-care, because we can't pour for an empty cup. That's my family. And I also say, when it comes to business, my clients, because without a client, you don't have a business. But then we have those rubber balls. If social media doesn't get done, guess what? It just doesn't get done this week.
Right.
If I can't clear up my emails, it just doesn't get done this week. But that also doesn't mean that, we just can't do it. We just got to prioritize.
Yeah, I think that's super important. I've never heard that analogy before. I love it, though. It's really timely. So since you deal with a lot of new business owners, what is one of the things that you tell them? Like, I always ask the question of, if another mom came to you and she wanted to start her own business, what would you tell her?
Oh, if a new person came to me and said, "Hey, Bianca, I always say start with your why." I think that's really important. I know we hear that a lot, and because it's so important, because there is not if, but when that time comes when want to burn your business to the ground, and you are tired and you are exhausted and you don't want to do this business anymore. Just remembering why you started your business can just give you all the motivation you need. You maybe just need to take a break, take a step back from your business. So sit down and really write down why do you want to start your business? Is that to make more money? But then go even deeper. Why do you want to make more money? Well, I want to be able to take my family on vacation. There you go. So more than just let's make more money. I want to, more time to myself. Why do you want more time to yourself? Because I'm a hot mess right now. And I just, and so really digging deep into your why, and then look at your skill set. What did you bring from your 9 to 5? I come from the banking industry, so I very much started with bookkeeping, but now I do bookkeeping for the financial industry. And then we started doing social media for the financial industry. And then we also do coaches, because I'm a coach too. So I very much understand both of those industries. So writing your skill set down, what is it that you actually enjoy to do? Because just because we had a 9 to 5 and we can do it doesn't mean we enjoyed it. So what can you do? What did you enjoy to do? And then see if there's a service for that. A lot of people come from marketing, and for VAs, they feel like they have to start with general admin. I'm like, no, you came from marketing. You can automatically go straight into marketing. There's some things you have to learn because the online is different. So just your why, and then figuring out what do you want to do, and do a lot of market research and a lot of networking. I believe in the power of networking.
And then I think it's important too for them to hone it down, especially when you first start, instead of trying to do all the things, right? Because just because you can do all areas of, let's say, marketing, I think that it would probably be overwhelming for a new person to just start in and be like, yeah, I can do email marketing. I can do social media. I can do this. I can do that. If you're new and you're as a solopreneur, niching down and saying, listen, I'm just going to focus on email marketing to start, and then master that skill and move forward, I think is probably going to be the better thing. Because I'm working with somebody right now, and she, even though she has a target in mind, she says, she writes a little thing and sends it over to me and says, I'm going to work with small business owners. And I'm like, well, I'd really think it would be better if you hone it in back into who your target audience is. Like, let's say they're real estate agents. She's like, instead of saying real estate agents, she says small business owners. And I'm like, no, that's way too broad. Like, you need to hone it in and who you're actually wanting to serve. And that took me forever, because I used to say, I worked with female entrepreneurs, even though 90% of my clients were coaches, and then even and deeper than that, they were health and wellness coaches, but I just did not want to say that I work with health and wellness coaches, even though I teach other people to help find their target audience. I just don't even know why I was so resistant to that for years.
A lot of people are resistant to that. They think it's going to make them less money, and it's actually going to make you more money, because I always tell people, when you're doing social media marketing, who are you talking to? Mm-hmm. You are marketing, you don't even know who you're talking to. So, for example, we work with financial experts. So starting in about September, October, I do a lot of marketing to the financial experts, because guess what's coming up in January? Mm-hmm. Tax season. Mm-hmm. So I can hit on their pain points. And then during tax season, they are so bombarded with taxes that then they want to really outsource. And so if you really know who your target audience is, if you know who you're talking to, it's going to be so much easier to actually market your business.
Yeah, I agree. And when I teach my clients, I always am teaching them a focus on one person, having that one target person mm-hmm. in mind. But then, like I said, when I would put it on my website, it wouldn't have it would have that one person in there, but it would be in a broader sense for the website for some reason. But I'm clear now. I'm good. But, it took some time for me to learn that. And I think that that's an important lesson for new business owners, that they need to, the sooner that you can do that, I think the better. And so, yes, that is my little tidbit on top of yours.
And it doesn't help you, as somebody who owns an agency, when we are hiring and we ask for a social media manager, and you come in and your website or your portfolio has 20 million things, I'm not even going to consider you, because I want somebody that knows social media like the back of their hand, because that is what we do. You are going to work with one of our clients. I need you to live and breathe social media like we do. I don't want you doing general admin and tech and all these other things. And it's too much. So when you niche down, it actually does help you.
Yes, I agree. So Bianca, where can everyone find you online?
Yeah, so I am heavy on Instagram at Simplified Marketing Services. You can find me over there. And then I have another Instagram called The Virtual Assistant Journey on Instagram. So either one of those Instagram platforms.
Yeah. And then you have your free Facebook group and your beautiful website that was made by me.
Yes, my beautiful website at Bianca, www.biancamsmith.com, made by yours truly, Rita. It is beautiful. If I can say so myself, for those of you that are multi-passionate, that have, two businesses, I didn't know how to merge the two. You were talking about a marketing agency and coaching VAs. And so to find someone who can take both of your brands and merge them into one on one platform, the website is remarkable. You guys got to go see it. So biancamsmith.com.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being a guest. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Rita. It was a pleasure.
And there you have it. I want to encourage you to remember that being a mom who runs her own business is not easy. We all struggle, but just keep moving forward and don't forget to make time for yourself. As moms, we are usually the first thing to go to the bottom of the list. If your business is overwhelming you and you need real solutions, not just some sugar-coated suggestions, apply to work with me at ritasuzanne.com/apply.